Hello. Nice to be here with you guys. Thank you for joining me today again. Uh, Now we are continuing the basic concepts of astrology to start reading natal chart. And um, as I was doing in the first part, I will keep showing to you all the researches that I have going on in here, so we can have this. Um, Hi guys, I'm sorry. It seems that I greeted already and it wasn't showing up. So thank you for joining me here today. I'm glad to be here with you guys again. From this point on, we should continue the basic astrologic concepts for start reading natal chart. I've got a cats, agitated cats around me situation going on, so you may hear meows and beings playing around. Um, from this point on, I will, as I was doing in the first part, I will show to you how to get those astrological basic concepts knowledge. Sorry for my mic, it's has phone. And because of that, I will be showing many screens so you guys can see everything, how I'm putting the information all together, all the images I'll be working with. And it's kind of good that we're building this knowledge together because I think it one will make it easier to get to memorize it. And the other thing is that we don't have to limit our workshop classes as if we were in the formal school, because in the formal school they can pass you content and this content will have a limit of time and have to be speed up because you have to pass as much content as possible in each class. But in this case, I want to follow this through as a conversation. So by building the knowledge together with you, I'm showing for you first how you can research for it, second, how to enhance your knowledge on each part since the beginning, and also we don't have limitations in here, so we can go as deep as we want, okay? And because of that, I should continue on where I stopped, which was I was showing how the houses and the planets and the energy of the signs work together. And while I was talking about it, I was enhancing more of the knowledge by the help of ChatGPT. So you will see me a lot, besides looking to the camera, I will a lot use the ChatGPT concepts from my research so we can delve into that together. So I'm getting again the same research from yesterday. Uh, things and a lot of things come to my mind to get to explain. So this is a way of having topics to help me remember of each sign characteristics if I forget something, okay? But not anything to worry. As I said yesterday, the knowledge is already out there. There is a lot of qualified knowledge, and it's just a matter of how you're going to search it and how deep. Even though I want to pass through all these four concepts, which are the signs in each one, the houses on each one, the planet meanings for each one, and the aspects, I know that actually this takes a really long time, and I want to leave here a very enriched knowledge. even because this is meant to be a workshop for the membership. So thank you for being in here with me. That's really nice to have you here. And thank you for trusting me to share my knowledge with you. And I hope I can send it with all my heart and you can receive it really open minded and open hearted. Okay. So, yesterday I was using this image that I was building online while I was doing the workshop, precisely because by constructing it with you guys will make it be easier for you to remember. So, and also in the search for the path of least resistance, right? Because I don't want it to look too academical with a lot of material prepared. No, I want it to be more organic, like a chat. So, what we have here, I'm going to share with you guys. Let me open the image first. Yay. Awesome. Great. Okay, this is awesome. So, yesterday I stopped at the third house of Gemini, ruled by Mercury, right? And now I will continue from the fourth house of Cancer, ruled by Moon. Okay. Let me start sharing with you guys my screen. I will also leave here by my side a translator screen because you guys know me, I'm always losing some part of the language and trying to substitute by another language. So this keeps me into English, which is good. This I don't know if you can hear the noises. These are the cats. These are the cats. So translate. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna start sharing with you guys my screen. Ecrã inteiro. Pronto. I love when I appear like this. Okay, now let's go there. Oh, I'm sorry, this is just email stuff. Okay, now here we were. I was planning, as I said yesterday, to use my own natal chart, but it could be confusing, because signs, each sign represents each house. So you have signs one from 1 to 12, and you have the house from 1 to 12. And you have the planets symbolizing and ruling each sign in each house. That is important from this to not use my own, because the fact that my ascendant is in Virgo makes my Aries house being the eighth my Aries sign, sorry, be my 80th house. So that could be confusing because you would be seeing Aries on top of the 80th house, and that's not the initial concept. Okay, the initial concept of the natal chart is that that house one is ruled by Aries. So I decided to use this image so you can see this, the fact that each sign in here will be in each correct house with its correct planet ruler, okay, ruling planet. Okay, so continuing where we stopped in the first part. I will get back to the fourth house of Cancer, ruled by the Moon. I love this house. This house is really meaningful for a lot of people. First, because when you were grown up, you want to have your own space, your own house, and this is the house. This sign, Cancer, the Cancer sign rules home and house. So when you want to buy your first house, you will try to understand the aspects regarding your fourth house, the sign of Cancer and Moon. And this is more related to the house for the home where you're gonna live, and the place where you will feel your intimacy can be opened because it's your home. And why do I say that? Because actually, when we're going to talk about properties for investment and financial world, we would use the second house of Taurus that is related to financial world and investments. Okay, so when we're talking about the house that we want to live in and how we want to decorate it, then we're talking about the fourth house of Cancer. And this is also very meaningful, you know that? Because in our house, we get to open our intimacy to ourselves. We don't have to use masks in our house, most of all. Even though when we live alone, because sometimes we hide some things from our families, that's normal, right? But why am I saying that? Because in this point, in the fourth house of Cancer, Cancer and the fourth house are ruled by the moon, and the moon is really powerful. Okay. Okay, and the sun is really powerful and Leo is very majestical. Okay, all of that is true. But in this case, this is where the mystery starts. And this is where we can start looking in the dark. And why is that? Because the moon represents the bearing, like the burning of mysteries. And why is that? Because the moon represents that little light in the dark. And if I can make a good metaphor about it, a little light in the dark is like your intuition, okay? Because your intuition is like this kind of thing that you know, but you don't know how you know, but you know. And you're actually right. When you're talking about your intuition and the fact that you know something that you don't even know how you actually know it, we're talking about your intuition. And this is why the mystery starts here, because the moon rules our intuition. So I even try to say that women have this more open, because most women are super connected with their feelings, but this is no longer our true honest reality. What is actually being figured is that every one of us, we have our both sides. We have our masculine inner side and our feminine inner side. So inside of you, because you are a whole being, and because we have this, how is that called? We can reach both strings of something, right? Como é que é o nome daquele conceito, gente? Quando duplicidade não é ambíguo. I'm sorry, I'm missing. I want to put a concept in a word and I'm missing that word. I'm sorry, I'm missing the word in Portuguese too, so I'm not getting to translate this time. But what I mean is, do you know that concept from the Kybalion that we have? This is cats, okay. That we have. Gente, Kybalion. Como é que é o nome daquele conceito do Kybalion? Just a bit, please. Kybalion. Where is the... Okay, here it is. About Kybalion, please tell me. That's the best way I got to describe. Yes. Yes, not exactly what I was looking for, but that's kind of it. Okay, anyway, everything has both genders, okay? So you have the feminine side on you and you have your masculine side on you. You can totally be a woman working better on your masculine side. I have some friends like that. You can totally be a man working better from your feminine side. Totally normal. And when I'm saying that the moon is our feminine side and that the mysterious come from that point about the feminine side in everyone. So much when I was a kid, they would say that women would be more intuitive, but actually, you can totally be this very open hearted and open minded and super emotional man, and you can have this world totally wide open for you. I know a lot of men like this. I have my best friends in that situation. They have, some of them have bigger intuition than mine and believe my intuition is huge. And my partner, he knows things. It's incredible. It's kind of scary, but when he opens his mouth, you will want to hear what he will say because it will happen. And he's got this very huge radar for intuition. Okay, his intuition works really well. Maybe because his ascendant is in Cancer, which makes his moon be prominent, and the fact that he's got that part right in the ascendant, which is the part that we show to the world, makes this very visible on him. So when I'm saying that the moon, or the image again, when I'm saying that the moon represents this from the feminine perspective, I'm talking about the feminine side in everything. Okay, so when we're talking about the intuition coming from the moon, it's because if you connect to your emotions, you will already have this inner communication between rational and is a place that comes from our sensitive feelings, in the sense of you can feel something touching your energy, you analyze that energy with your emotion, with your emotional perception, not with your rational perception, because those messages from astral realms, or what I call the spiritual realms, they are sent by energy, meaning, so it's not a matter of thinking about the energy. No, you have to really touch that feeling of that energy with how you feel. You have to understand how you feel about that energy that is touching you. And when you touch it with your emotional perception, and by emotional perception, I mean your feelings, when you feel that energy of what's trying to be told to you, you will, in a third point, be able to translate it from your rational perception, okay? And this is huge because in this point, we're talking about feelings. So the moon rules this part of our life, our emotions and our feelings. And because of all that inner situation going on with you, understanding your heart, you will be connected to this intuitive part. And the resemblance to the moon is that because the moon is there exercising her power, her, because the moon in Portuguese is feminine, okay? The moon will be there exercising her power, whether she's appearing or not, whether she has just a little light going on. And yeah, okay, we're gonna have a moon phase thing going on later. You keep here with me because we're gonna delve into each moon phase, but later when we enhance more this knowledge. And the thing is, so I was going through this. The light is there, even though it's a little. The moon, as it was a really long time ago, and the light of the moon was everything you had. Okay, that small little light was super necessary, right? And this is our intuition, is that even in the middle of the dark of the things that we can't see, there is still that little light shining a little bit of vision to you. And that vision is your intuition, is your medium channel, is your mediumship, and your ability to connect, hey guys, to other spirits. I love them. They are super my friends. They are totally around me all the time. I ask them to be here close to me, and they all are always. So sometimes I think them like this. And also here we have that the moon rules our mom and how we are going to mom later. Oh, but there is no mom in the situation. Okay, someone played the feminine role in the growth of a kid, in your life, or you will play that role for a kid, that's your mom version. Okay, let's not keep the genders, physical genders. I'm only talking about the feminine and the masculine energy. Let's leave it super clear in here, okay? Because this works for everyone, not just if you're a man or if you're a woman. Okay, that's not a limitation here, which I'm glad for. And what else? Am I missing something? So represents our mom, represents our emotions, represents our intuition and our vision in the dark, which means our connection to spiritual realms that will also appear in other signs. We have, oh, okay, here we have very artistical and caring people, and they're so lovely and they're so. And moms of Cancer, they are super moms. They tend to take care of their babies until they're no longer babies, but yet in their hearts, they will feel like babies. And this is true for most moms of any sign. But Cancer moms, they go really on mothering. This is, and parenting. It's a better way to call it because they, fathers can go through this too, you know? So it rules houses. When you go by your house, you should look for this house. The people are very artistical and loving and caring, and there is a lot of tenderness. And Cancer, they are usually trying to be the medium channel between families fighting. So if there is a brother fighting with another brother, a figure of Cancer appears and try to make those two figures peaceful term come to a peaceful term. um what else is good to say? They're good in acting. They like to please people because they want to this thing of making other people smile, make them feel happy. They are feeling like they helped other people, so they like to please, but not to not be themselves. They're going to please by being themselves. So it's not like a concept of a people pleaser. It's more like a concept of someone that can bring happiness and contentment and joy and joyfulness. So, what else can I say about them? Am I missing something? I could be missing a lot. So, from this point on, I will use the small ChatGPT search that I got. Cancer. They are highly intuitive, emotionally sensitive, offering nurturing and protective traits towards those that they care about. They value family and home life above all. That is true. Good recalling. And despite their tough exterior, they can be quite vulnerable and cautious, fearing rejection and betrayal. Oh, that is true because they're super attached to family and house and the home, more the concept of home than the house. They're totally parent and family members, like very strong in that sense of participating actively into their family. Now, it could be a painful point. This is my own statistic, okay? This is my own statistic. And it's a delicate point that I want to mention because I have seen it with my own eyes, and I'm not so sure how true this is, like worldwidely, but I have seen it a lot here in Brazil, which is a delicate point. Maybe you'll get to see it for yourself. Maybe I'm just realizing this close to me, but maybe this could be a reference if you check something like this. The delicate point about Cancer is that I don't know for which reason. I really don't know for which reason, but when the person has Cancer really preeminent in her natal chart, or a lot of things going on in the fourth house of Cancer, I don't know for which reason that person sometimes at a certain point in her life early it seems to me early. Okay. There could be something happening that make those guys feel like father abandonment, and this is very delicate, right? For several reasons, sometimes for natural causes like death, sometimes for other reasons like the father that didn't want to raise the kid, sometimes for other reasons that the father is there but is kind of absent, so not so close. But it could be saved when you have like a kid from the sign of Cancer, in the sign of Cancer, but you have way too many other kids in the other signs. This could balance that father abandonment part. And I don't know if this is related to the fact that Cancer is a mom sign, because it's ruling the modern ship, and it's something sad to talk about, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but you can see this maybe with your own eyes. I don't know for which reason kids of Cancer sign, for some reason they seem to have gone through some story that makes them that make make them dad it makes them dad be a little apart. And this is actually so sad that I have seen this happening really recently. And it was another father of another kid of sign of Cancer, and it seemed to have no reason at all, but the guy died really early, and we felt like, oh my god, this seems so senseless. But still, this is a bad statistic, uh, but on the other side, they have all those other good things going on. They're very lovingly, they're very heart tender, they're very, oh my god, that the empathy that they can reach in their perception, they're so sensitive, it's so beautiful. That's why they could be so connected to expressive arts like acting in theaters or movies or whatever, because they are super connected on how to pass an emotion, and they can do it really well. So it's not by surprise that a lot of uh, actors and actresses from the Cancer sign are incredible, right? Not that all of the other signs won't have their own actors or actresses that are have this astonishing work. But this is one of the references that Cancer, a lot of Cancer, for I don't know for which reason, they go to theater and they go learn acting, and that's super interesting. I have a large statistic about that around myself. So when you want to know about your intuition and all of that, this is the house and the sign you want to check upon, and the planet, which is the moon. Okay. Now the next sign. Let me get how much time I've got. Okay. So the next sign is the Majesty, the Leo, in the fifth house, ruled by the sun. Yeah. And this is one of my favorite houses, guys. And I must say this because this house represents fun, enjoyment, games, arts. This is actually the house that rules acting, even though you can see a lot of actors, a lot of Cancer people acting and looking for acting since childhood. In the fifth house of Leo, ruled by the sun, is actually the ruler of acting. So in this house, we have, because of games, right? Because games, because it represents fun time. It also represents games, but because of that, it also represents gambling. But most of all, fun time, and how we're gonna enjoy ourselves in our day, and how we are going to realize and live good moments. This is ruled here in the fifth house, okay? And they're majestic and they are incredible hosts and hostess of parties, and they can make everyone feel welcome. And because they are majestic, they have this superior behavior of I know what's going on, and because of that also they want to look super strong, and they because of that too, unless they have a super prominent cancer on their map, they will have this difficulty in showing feelings, because they are really appearances for them is super important, and how society will see them, and their power, and how they will be seen as a big character and an example for the people of his time and all of that. And here status and gorgeous house and everything looking luxurious, all of that really touches them. What could be different from that is when you have, because Leo is from fire, the element fire, and the element fire is about action and is about acting upon receiving ideas, and it's like impetus. They follow their impetus, and the organization and the configuration of each Leo's maps will show where they care more about appearances, where they care less, whether they will accept to live a simpler life, or whether will they accept simple reality. What else? Fun time. Okay, so the fifth house, the place where your sun is, as in the astral sun. Okay, and the sign of Leo, they will talk about how you enjoy your life and how you host things and how you prepare. Do you know those family parties that happen in every holiday, important holiday? They are ruling this too, okay? So when you're going to talk about events, it is a good moment to understand your fifth house or the sun or the Leo sign. Where is it in your map, okay? From this point on, let me check what else ChatGPT brought to me, okay? So, Leo. From July 23rd to August 22nd, Leos possesses a natural charm and charisma. Yeah, good way to put it. Often finding themselves in the spotlight. Yeah, they kind of look for it. They are confident, true. They are creative, true. They are generous. Yeah, I've seen that too. But their desire for admiration can sometimes come off as arrogance. That's true too. Leos are loyal friends and lovers, willing to go to great lengths to protect their loved ones. That is true, but about the loyalty, they will be loyal to themselves. So it could super happen that you married a Leo person, and while they were with you, they were super loyal, but if for some reason something happened that caused the Leo to change his mind, he will be loyal to himself. So Leo not may be the really focus to marry until death may part us. So Leos, they are super loyal if they want to be loyal. So if you have a Leo that is really into you, he will show you. He will present you with jewelry, or if you're a man, she will present you with cars. They like resemblance to luxuriousness, so they could take you out to this fascinating place. Okay, so this is representative of Leo, okay? They like this luxurious thing around them. And they are also a fixed sign. And that is important to say because fixed signs are representative of stubborn people. So they could really be stuck in an opinion and not accept to change it because they are not seeing the value of changing that opinion. So For you to make a Leo change their opinion as with the other fixed signs, which are Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo, you will really have to explain in arguments why your idea and the vision that you have different from theirs is valid. You will have to explain, and it will have to make sense for them. And if it makes sense for them, then they might change their minds, but they will put a lot of thought into that. Also, because they're going to be admired, they also value tradition. You know, that person that likes to be the perfect son or daughter, or that person that likes to be the most perfect husband or wife, or that person who likes to be the perfect neighbor, they have this going on. And because of that, they will, if you're too modern, like, I will make a comparison, okay? So if you are too modern, and if you are in like, there is not necessarily a time for love. May you are so in tune in your soul that when your soul meets another soul, and that soul is totally bonding with your soul, you will be able to see, most of all if you're a water sign like Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, you will totally be able to feel like that person is your best friend from that look that made your soul feel bonded to that other soul. So when you're talking about water signs, this is a little bit of a modern concept, because just by the fact that there happened a soul bond, you can be in the first day know with your heart that that person is your best friend. And I totally agree with that, because I'm a water sign, I'm Scorpio. I know how it feels, and I know that it happens, and to me it happens a lot. Some people I've met from the first sight, I knew that person was super meaningful in my life, and that I really needed to be closer to really cause the connection to enhance, because I could feel that other person had everything to match with my personality and the way I like to cross life, and the way I like to behave and see the world and all of that. When it comes to Leo, it's not like this. They can even feel the soul bond, but they're going to research it a lot. And even if they feel like that soul bond could make that person be their best friends, they will not put that new person in front of his older friends, because he has this concept that times matter. They have this concept that what you create in a timely matter will have bigger value, because that thing was already with them a really long time ago. That can be true too, but both points of view are true. You can have new people that you're meeting that feel like highly connected to you, and you feel super bonded, and the loyalty is huge. But maybe, oh, I'm so sorry, the mic was so far away. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, how much of the audio did you guys lose? I'm so sorry. I will try to enhance the volume later. So maybe they will know this friend that will look like a best friend, but they will also, okay, don't come interfering in my old friendships, because they were here earlier, and they have those traditional values related to time. So they value more the money made along a lot of time than the money you just bumped into a super great idea and got the money and you got rich and you were, no, they value the old money and how the old values, and maybe they're not even feeling connected to their families. Oh, but no, it's the family and the family. But kind of because of that, they are a little bit inserted in taboos, because and because of that, it's not so easy to pass them new ideas. And because of that stubbornness, they will keep these traditional values from old society going on in their lives until today. Um, Not that I'm saying that this is a problem, but they are missing really honest soul bonds sometimes, okay? Because that happens a lot. Um, but maybe a soul bond can be better experienced by water and maybe by air. I should actually confirm the air part, but I have seen some air people bonding really fast too. And they can be really open. And because air rules the mind and water rules the heart, you can be open minded and open hearted. Um, we will go later deeper into the elements, okay? Because the elements say a lot too. So, in this point, because everything of luxuriousness and all of that is important for them, materialism and money related subjects, even though it's ruled by Taurus, this is also very important in Leo because money represents a good status in society. So they do value that, which is not a problem for them because Leos are really hard workers. Oh, it's kind of almost upsetting. They can go 10 hours a day without complaining and maybe working on Saturday and if necessary on Sundays, and they won't just feel bad about it. Also that's from fire element. Fire elements, fire element people are really hard workers, which is amazing to see. They are restless, it seems, right? And sometimes they are actually tired, but they won't let that win, and they get to control their emotions to have that power to not let that win. Okay, so this that I'm saying to you is very detailed and deepened and enhanced. And by that, I'm saying that all those concepts, maybe you don't get to find them all in one website. Even because when I started studying astrology back in 2013, at that moment, I started realizing my own statistics on how each sign happens to behave most frequently and what to expect from them and what happens around their life. So, a lot of what I'm discussing here with you guys, maybe you don't find it written anywhere, but you will be able to realize by asking people signs. And this has been so much fun in my life that when I meet people, let's suppose I go into any work and I just get in the place and oh please, what is your sign? And then I ask the name. And it keeps really fun because people who know me, they always tell the people, oh don't worry, she always asks the sign first rather than the name. And this is true. Most of all, when someone makes a really peculiar comment, the first question in my mind to ask is, "Oh my God, please, what's your sign?" That is true. And why is that? Because sometimes the characteristics most spoken about on the pages and websites, they are one, but when you actually start living with them and asking their signs, you will know that there is a lot behind that hasn't been spoken yet. So this is me having like a conversation with you guys where I'm giving an opinion as I would give to a friend, okay? Now let's move to the next. Let me see how much time I've got. Okay. In the next house, also ruled by Mercury, we have Virgo ruling the sixth house of organization, routine, health, pets. And in here, we're going to find that niche of people who are in love with cleansing. uh, so Virgo rules the organization abilities, the cleaning abilities, the routine abilities, how you organize your routine, how you will organize your life, your schedule, detail because they're very from minutia. And in here, that wittiness and smartness that we find from Mercury, in the Mercury from Gemini in the third house, we also find it in the sixth house. And in this point, this can be enhanced. And why is that? Virgo is this earth sign, an earth sign, because they're earth, they move slowly. And because they move slowly, they ponder a lot. And because they ponder a lot, they want to construct their lives in very strong bases. So you could have a Virgo energy crossing someone, showing that a knowledge that that person prepared has been built in a really long time, because they want to feel like they have this rock solid base on what they can climb on to feel safe up there to talk about what they know. And in this point, because of this, opposite to that knowledge, that, how can I call it better? The things that Geminis know, the fact that they know a variety of curiosity in the superficial level, and they can really get a long way deepening chats. When we are talking about the Mercury from Virgo, it is actually from the start a little bit deeper. So their curiosity in here will not be used to satisfy a large curiosity in several things. Actually, in this point, you have Mercury making that person be really. Como é que é caprichado? Gente, caprichado ainda não inventaram essa palavra em inglês. They still didn't invent a meaning for caprichado in English. Capricho. Whim? No, no. Yeah, whim, but caprice. No, not fantasy. I'm trying to mean whim, but not in the meaning of fantasy or extravaganza or eccentricity. I'm meaning whim, and when you put so much attention into something that it gets really done, gets really well done in detail, and in the small little parts and in the bigger parts too. So in this point, and when Mercury enters Virgo, he already starts to make the person go into more analytics and more detailed information and that and analysis. And then you have this person that can really dive into a knowledge to figure more about it, and that person will read really deeply and spend a lot of time reading it. And whim in that sense, caprice in that sense, in the sense of being really attemptful and careful and to a subject, okay? And this is a good mentioning. I know I will do this later to talk about the planets, but I wanted to talk about this too in this moment, because when we check the comparison between the planets and the meaning of them in their own mythological astrology, mythological history, they can give us more meaning, because the story from that Greek or Roman god or goddess and how they behaved will explain a lot of what is reflected in those signs and houses and planets. Okay, so why am I saying that? Because in here we have Persephone, and if you look at Persephone's history, let me get just a little. Can I open two windows of ChatGPT? ChatGPT. Let me check. Yes, nice. So please tell me in brief words the history of Persephone. Persephone, maybe it's with PH, Persephone. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted, okay? Why Mercury in Virgo enhances and makes the person want to deepen the knowledge and become more analytical and become more detailed. So I will tell you the story of Persephone, okay? Persephone is a significant figure in Greek mythology known as the queen of the underworld and the goddess of spring growth. She's the daughter of Zeus and Demeter, the goddess of agriculture and fertility. The most famous myth involving Persephone is her abduction by Hades. This is where it starts, the love for deepened things, deepened knowledge, deepened concepts. Persephone is her abduction by Hades. Odys. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say Odys in English. Could be Hades, but I'm not sure. The god of the underworld, who desires her as his wife. Demeter's grief over the loss of her daughter causes the earth to become barren, leading to the first winter. The prompt This prompted an intervention from Zeus in a compromise where Persephone would spend part of the year with this in the underworld and the rest with Demeter on earth. This The cyclical return of Persephone to the surface is said to be the reason for the seasons, symbolizing the emergence of life spring and its retreat in fall and winter. Persephone's story encapsulates themes of life, death, and rebirth, and she is often associated with rites of passage and the cycle of growth and decay in nature. Just a little bit, please. Where am I? Okay, just a little bit, please. ChatGPT will tell about it that Virgos are analytical, meticulous, practical, often seeking to improve and organize everything around them. I will return on this subject later to be continuing in the next part because I have a daughter calling situation in here. Just a bit, please.